It is an absolutely gorgeous day today in Washington, D.C. It's one of those days that's like fall, but these days are numbered. So you cherish them. The sun is out. There's like no clouds in the sky. It's this beautiful, brilliant blue. It's that equinox sunshine where the light is starting to change a little bit, but it's still warm enough that you can walk around outside. I had on a sweatshirt earlier on my walk and it was breezy and just so beautiful. And I felt such immense gratitude for the ability to walk around and be healthy and strong and observe all the trees and the leaves that are starting to fall and just the miracle that is this life. I'm in one of those moods and zones where life is a blessing, and it is a blessing every day, but I am just really soaking in the beauty of it all. And I think it's partially too because I'm so grateful for this weather because I know that it is fleeting and soon it will be gray and cold and there will be no leaves on the trees. So I'm really trying to soak in last little fleeting bits of warmth while we still have it. So today I want to talk about self-acceptance, which I know you're probably like, huh? If you follow, so the CBCF annual legislative conference, otherwise known as CBC Week, was last week. And it's this huge event every year in Washington, D.C. that a lot of the politicos and politico adjacent people like to go to. And for the last 20 years or so, every September, I have this moment of negotiation with my husband on how things will play out during CBC week because it is a week-long conference with lots of festivities and events. We typically go to different things, and then also our two oldest kids' birthdays typically fall during this season of CBC week. But it's the Congressional Black Caucus's annual legislative conference. Thousands of people are pouring into the city to attend sessions with their local congressional leaders. People are going to issue forums at the convention center. Different groups and organizations host luncheons and receptions. And of course, lots of parties, lots and lots of parties. So it's kind of like an HBCU homecoming and mixed with Martha's Vineyard in August, but in suits and pumps. So I've been in DC over 20 years. So I have attended my fair share of these CBC week celebrations. And fun fact, I actually worked for the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation my senior year of college. So I worked the conference and I saw it from the inside. I have spoken on panels. I have participated in sponsored events. I've gone to a few of the parties, but mainly for me, and this is for me, the experience is kind of sensory overload or energetic overload for me. I want to say that again, for me. It is a huge networking opportunity. I know this, right? Especially for folks who are coming into the DC area from out of town. And then like for someone like me who runs a business that serves the type of high performing, focused high achievers that CBC Week attracts, like I totally get why I should be there. I get why I should want to go and see and be seen. I get why I should feel an intense desire to be in the room. But I just never do. I never feel it. I never want to go. And over the years, I've made and canceled my CBC plans just like more times than I can count. I've like worked myself up to go, picked out the outfit. There have been a couple times where I've gone and had a great time, but then there have been times where I've gone and instantly just wanted to be back in my house. And I think in the years past, like the most recent years, I've started to approach CBC week with this like sense of shame almost, or shaming myself because I'm telling myself what I should do and how I should get excited to get cute and go out and network and, promote myself and promote my brand and promote my business. And then when I don't want to do that, or I don't want to kind of be in this hyper social situation, I make myself feel bad about wanting to stay in and be cozy. And this is not unique to CBC Week. So just to clarify, this is not like a podcast that is downing CBC Week. Listen, next year I might be in the mood and go and have a ball. So it's not about this event. I'm just talking about this particular incident and what I have learned through it. So it's not about this event or events in general. It's really my own orientation towards the things that I tell myself I am supposed to enjoy, but I'm just not that into. Right? So like if you think about parents of small kids, it seems like it's a rite of passage to take your kids to Disney, and people save up for it and plan for it and make a big to-do about it. But it's just, I'm not into manufactured entertainment spaces like that. And I never have been. And, if that's your thing, that's awesome. But like, there have been years where I beat myself up for not wanting to take the kids to Disney, because it's like, well, Amanda, why can't you just be like all the other moms and want to do it? I just don't want to do it, right? But back to CBC. So this year, instead of wallowing in the self-judgment of why don't you want to do the thing that you're supposed to want to do, I surrendered to my truth. I did not want to go, so I did not go. I did not have FOMO. I was cheerfully looking at other people's posts on Instagram and their party outfits and their celeb selfies. I hearted my fair share of photos, and I smiled to myself when I saw friends out and about, all glammed up, looking like they were having a fabulous time, looking beautiful, looking like they were enjoying themselves. I was happy to see that. It made my heart smile, but I released the need to judge myself for being different. And I just tried something different, and I just let myself be me. In the house, cozied in up under my kids, in my robe with my coffee, resting from what was a really busy week prior to that. I was doing what I truly felt like doing. And it was amazing. And something happened to me during this phase of like not making myself feel bad about not wanting to do the thing that I have told myself that I should want to do for all these years. It occurred to me that it was really such a loving gesture to make towards myself, instead of forcing myself to rally or push through or get into party girl mode, which, to be clear, I do from time to time. Instead of pushing myself, I accepted myself where I was, and I did not demand anything more. Like, even saying that almost makes me want to tear up a little bit. I could literally feel myself saying to myself, Amanda, it is okay if you don't like to do what everyone else likes to do. It is okay if you are running away from what everyone else seems to be running toward. It doesn't make you wrong or weird or uncool or embarrassingly nerdy. It just makes you you. And you are okay just as you are. I realized how much my inner child needed that. And I realized how that whole programming of let me be something or someone other than my authentic self so that I can be good enough to be accepted has been such a core ingredient to my many seasons of burnout and exhaustion over the years. Since my earliest years, I remember just being different and doing things that no one else my age was doing, like drinking coffee and writing poems and listening to 60s jazz as like a 15-year-old. I like to joke that I still have not caught up to the age of my soul yet. Maybe in another 20 years, maybe another 30 years. Like, I feel like I was born a grandmother inside. But this whole scenario of taking a beat and like just accepting me, like Amanda, like not forcing myself to try to be something that I want to see myself being, but accepting the beauty of me as I am. Having this experience during CBC week, which is such a stark kind of microcosm of this whole experience because it's so dramatic. Like, so many people in my network are going to do this thing that I'm just like not trying to do. But it reminded me of something I wrote when my book, The Rest Revolution, was about to come out. And I was really trying to put into words what all rest means to me besides sleep. Because to me, rest and having a rest revolution is truly about giving up everything that exhausts me. And those are the things that are in the world, and those are the things that are inside of myself. Like, what messages am I absorbing and, internalizing that are conspiring towards my exhaustion? But this is what I wrote. The rest revolution is a call for radical truth. It's finally getting honest and finally asking yourself the tough questions about what is not working in your life. It's getting real about what truly exhausts you, even if the world tells you that you should do, be, have, or love it. It is remembering yourself. It's pulling back on the things that deplete you while maximizing the people and activities that energize you. It is remembering yourself in a world that tries to distract you enough to forget. It is choosing yourself. And this is the part that's just like, what? Like, not choosing the world, but it's choosing yourself. It's choosing yourself in a society that champions self-erasure by giving you no choice but to hide your most essential needs, neglect your feelings, or back burner your relationships, back burner your hobbies, and back burner your health. That is what it looks like to me to have a rest revolution. It's more than just going to sleep or taking a vacation or even integrating daily stillness practices. That's a part of it. But the rest revolution, or having a rest revolution, is about finding a new norm. And it truly becomes a revolution when you finally get sick of what has become your norm. Overthinking, overworking, and over consuming, all to still end up on empty. So, like, imagine if we all did this, if we all had a moment of radical honesty, radical self-acceptance. We accepted ourselves, our wants, our desires, our hungers, our needs, our irritations. We just accepted ourselves at face value for who we are, for what we want, for what we need. And we said no to the invitations that didn't spark energy and excitement and curiosity. And we said yes to ourselves. We accepted ourselves. We didn't judge our preferences. We honored our differences instead of, trying so hard to fit into someone else's idea of what is enough, what is good, what is cool, what is successful. Now, I get why we don't accept ourselves, because belonging is so seductive. It's so enticing. But man, self-belonging, which I feel like I really experienced during this little moment of saying no to CVC week, it's just a whole other vibe, a whole other ride, a whole other high. Like, this was such a small act of self-acceptance instead of self-betrayal. And I'm really loving how I feel after having honored my personal truth, even in this small way. I feel like my meditations and sound baths have been stronger, and I've been getting more intuitive hits. Like, it's all connected. When you do not mute yourself, and when you honor yourself, it's like yourself gets louder and louder, and you're able to really hear what you need. So for you, I want to invite you to try on an act of radical self acceptance this week. If you are someone like me who has in the past told yourself messages about how you need to shapeshift in order to belong or in order to be more palatable to the world or to certain groups of people, I want you to try accepting yourself as you are. The next time you are faced with a choice where everything inside of you is saying, I don't want to do that. I am not interested. That does not sound like a good time to me. I get why you want to do that, but I don't. I get why that seems like that would be fun or that will be fun for you, but to me, it's going to be too much. I want you to honor the truth of what you feel and what you need. Sometimes I find myself just like having almost an out of body experience. Like, what must I appear like from the world? Walking around, like today, I was walking around the neighborhood and it's just such a beautiful day, as I mentioned. And I was looking up, I was listening to like a guided meditation on my AirPods. And, the sky is this brilliant blue. The breeze is like just delicious. And because we're at that little season of the season starting to change, the leaves are dry. And so as the wind is blowing them, they're making this sound, like it's not the sound of like soft summer leaves. It's like the crinkly fall leaves that are still up in the trees, but they're rustling around. And like I stopped and looked up at this really tall tree I've never noticed before. And I just was like, oh my God, that's a beautiful tree. And it was like the moment I stopped and I looked up to just marvel at this tree, it was like the wind started blowing more dramatically. And I took my phone out to record this tree dancing in the breeze so that I could send it to Logan, who is away for college, because I know Logan will understand. And I took a little video of the tree blowing in the wind, and then I just commenced back on my walk and continued on. And I might have stopped 2 more times before that walk was over. When I saw another tree, I didn't take any more videos, but I just kept seeing little moments of beauty, things that are in my everyday environment that I don't always have the time to stop and take in fully. And I wondered, wow, I wonder what this looks like from the outside, like the cars driving by and people like, what is that lady doing? Like, why does she look so, curious and childlike and happy? And what is wrong with her, right? Like, is she crazy? Is she a little nuts? Like, is she all right? And like, why is she walking? It's 11 o'clock in the morning. Like, why is she not at her desk or at work or somewhere doing something productive? And I just kind of shut that voice off to say, however it looks, it is what it is, because this is me and this has always been me. And I'm perhaps getting to that age where you just start to say, whatever, and I am what I am. It is what it is. And if you like it, you like it. And I'm sure there's so many people that don't, and that's absolutely okay. But I am thankfully here. I finally got to this stage of life where instead of trying to make myself something else, I am leaning into the joy. And not to say that I've never enjoyed, I love being me. I like so many things about myself. I enjoy it. But I think that in the years past, I have been a little too preoccupied with trying to make sure other people can translate me, right? Like, you don't speak Amanda, so let me try to like put Amanda in like another form so you understand, or you can at least do a loose translation of what's going on. And I'm at a point where it's okay if I don't translate, because for the people who speak this language, I absolutely will. And it's absolutely better that way. So I just challenge you and encourage you this week to think about where maybe you have been trying to shape yourself into a more palatable package for an audience that doesn't speak the language of you. And what would it be like to simply show up unfiltered, untranslated, unabridged as just you? How freeing would that be? How much more energy could you claw back through self-acceptance. Like, that's the challenge. Like, how much more energy could you claw back? And then also, if you have been wanting to deepen your intuitive hits and internal guidance and ability to hear from God, how much clearer will that voice, your inner voice, become when you start honoring the whole of you, the totality of you, in completion? So that is what I have for you today. A little different, a little something. I was going to say woo woo, but that doesn't even capture it. But this is just what's on my mind. I hope it resonated. I hope it gave you something to think about. I hope that you can pinpoint something that you can allow yourself to radically self accept this week so that you can really step into this rest revolution with me. As always, if you're enjoying this podcast, make sure you are subscribed. If you like it and are loving the episodes, leave me a rating and review because it helps other people find the show. And while you're at it, go ahead and drop the link to this episode in your group chat. Send it to your friends so that we can get some more folks on board with this movement and with these ideas. And find me on Instagram or Threads. Shout me out to let me know that you're listening and that, also are ready to get into this radical self-acceptance if you haven't already been. Maybe I'm late to the party. Maybe everybody is out here accepting themselves, and I'm just the one person who's out here trying to be a people pleaser and be something that is palatable. But if you're on the journey with me, shout me out and let me know. Don't leave me hanging. All right. Bye.